What is in the mystery toppings lunchbox today? Find out on this edition of Kitchen Cookin'! Yay! Welcome to Kitchen Cookin', the first kitchen cookin' since the kitchen renovation. Some months ago, Andrea was at a restaurant auction somewhere and got herself some restaurant props and me some restaurant props. And I'm going to use some of those restaurant props today. Our fictional restaurant is Chevrolet. Let's take a look at the first item on today's menu. Scrambled eggs and the mystery topping. Well, let me get my apron on. Dude with the food. There. And just in case you have new people, my name tag. Howard. Since I discovered I have no insulin necessary sugar 2 diabetes back in January, I made changes to my food diet at the suggestion of my new doctor. And some of those changes were adding eggs more often and having fish more often. So the first things we'll be cooking today: eggs for scrambled eggs and the mystery topping, a fish product. Now it's time to find out what fish product is in the mystery toppings lunchbox. Chicken of the Kissed Honey Barbecue. Tuna fish. I prefer tuna fish from the pouch versus the can. The canned tuna fish tends to have a lot of water in it. The pouch tuna fish does not. Now what's going to make the tuna fish and the egg unique is we're going to cook both at the same time and have both at the same time. The tuna fish is going to get mixed in with the scrambled eggs. I am going to work on the egg part first. When I have scrambled eggs as part of the meal, or as the only part of the meal, I usually use two eggs. But since I'm sharing this with the tuna, I'm only doing one egg. So I have there it is, the one egg, and I have this bowl. I'm going to carefully crack, but not completely, so it opens up, crack the egg on the edge of the bowl. It's a good idea to crack, oh there we go. Okay, I've made enough of a hole in the egg. The innards are ready to come out. So I aim carefully over the bowl. Slowly squish the shell. And out comes the innards. Now you do not want any shell to get in the bowl. In case any shell does get in the bowl, get the shell out of the bowl. You use your finger or fingers, perhaps use a spoon if necessary. This is what it looks like. I can't tilt the bowl too much, the stuff will spill out. You then use a fork and you want to squash down the inner of the egg, which is the yolk. You squish that down until the yolk has no longer hard. Like that. Okay. That's it for the moment. Off camera, I cut open the bag of tuna, and I'm only going to use half the bag of tuna. So, since I didn't know how much half the bag would be, well, in ounces, it would be 1 3/10 ounces, but I don't have a food scale. So I used a ruler to measure what half would be. And then I measured the half of tuna, and it turned out it was 1/8 of a cup. I am now going to spray the pan here with cooking spray. The stovetop is still in the off position. And now I'm going to put the tuna fish in. During rehearsal, I tried once tuna fish first, then the scrambled egg mixture, and then another rehearsal, the scrambled egg first, and then the tuna, and I decided it's better to put the tuna in first because it's easier to mix the tuna in with the eggs, with the egg that way. Well, off camera, I put the 1/8 of a cup of tuna fish in the measuring cup. And I will spread the tuna fish around a little bit. It's a big pan, so can't spread the tuna fish around too much to try to cover the entire pan. There we go. Now I will put on just a little bit of butter, not too much, just enough to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan. And now I turn the stovetop on. I use almost the high setting. And move the butter around. Once I add the egg in here, I'll start moving the egg around with a fork. You could use a spoon. And the most I'll be moving the egg around is 1 minute, 10 seconds. The egg mixture very quickly starts to become the scrambled egg. So you don't want to be fooling around once that the egg mixture starts hitting the pan. And move the butter around. You should wait till you get some sizzle sound from the butter. Okay. And I'm about to pour the egg mixture in, and once that happens, I'll be moving the egg mixture around. Here we go. Scoop out as much as you can from the bowl, and then start mixing around. Ooh. Oh, before you put any of the stuff in the pan, make sure you have a clean pan. If you have a dirty pan, you're going to wind up with brown color on the eggs or the egg. Everything will still work out okay. You'll just have brown looking eggs. I have to turn the heat down a little bit because it's getting too hot for me. When the 70 seconds was up, I decided the tuna fish hadn't mixed in with the egg as much as I liked. So I continued cooking. And this is what it looks like. And now, whoops, I forgot to take out a plate ahead of time to put that egg and tuna fish on. Turn the stovetop to the off position. And there we go. Get the tuna scrambled egg onto the plate. That looks delicious. I know it's delicious because of course I had when I was doing rehearsal. Don't put the pan back on that countertop. That's bad for the countertop. That's what it looks like. Let me have them. Let me try some. Hi. Oh, that's good. The barbecue flavor makes the egg even better. Yummy. Well, as long as you're not allergic to egg or tuna, here, try some. You'll like it. The barbecue's not spicy, it's okay. Well, that's it for the first item on the menu, or co-items on the menu. Scrambled eggs and the mystery topping, which you now know, tuna fish. Stay tuned, because after this, more cooking. But first, these words from our sponsor.